So this is module 10, E for education, and the main resource for education on the internet is YouTube. And YouTube is owned by Google, so the search facility within YouTube is one of the best on the planet because it's managed by Google, and there's almost any video that you could ever dream up which is available on YouTube for you to have a look at and to extend your knowledge in any way, shape or form. So we'll have a look at YouTube. We'll have a look at the YouTube controls and how you can manage that, how you can set up your own account. We'll have a look at how you can set up full screen, part screen, control sound, and also the size of the picture that you get. We'll then have a look at Wikipedia, which is one of the main information sources that you can find on the internet. And then we'll have a look at Udemy, which is a website where you can actually invest in courses on many different subjects. So that's module 10 in E for education. So let's start with YouTube. So this is the main screen at youtube.com. I could also log into youtube.co.uk, but I've chosen to stay in youtube.com, and I'm logged in as my main Gmail account. Because YouTube is run by Google, then it's better to be logged in with a Gmail account so that all of your Google assets are collected into the one place. And so this is the main screen that's come up today, and I can then do a search. So if I do a search for, let's say, Henry VIII, then there are a number of videos which will come up. So I will select the first one. So before we run the video, just a few things to note. I've muted the sound on this. The sound on YouTube is separate to the sound on your PC. So you can control that through the little loudspeaker icon. This is the stop-start button, so let's play or pause. And this particular video is 55 minutes long, so I'm not going to be playing all of that, just to let you see how this might work. And then there are settings which will control the rate at which your video goes. There is the subtitle or closed captions button. Then there is a mini player, so you can run it in the corner of your screen, or we can then have theatre mode, which changes the size of the picture on the screen. And the one in the corner is the one which will give you full screen, or be able to remove full screen. And you can also do that using the escape key. So let's just play a little bit of this video and see how we might control it. So mute on and off. Then there's subtitles, if there are any. Then settings, you can pick which you like out of those. There is then the mini player, which puts it into your mini player running in the corner of the screen. Then to get it back, you just click on the picture and it will come back up to the size where you left it. And you can then go for full screen, and the full screen is there. The menu is at the bottom, which will disappear, but then you can reselect that by going back with your mouse button and selecting the details that you want. So we'll go back for exiting full screen, and that is the way to control a YouTube video on your screen. So I've run a Google search on Henry VIII, and top of the list of all the results that have come out is an entry for Wikipedia, wikipedia.org, and if I click on that link, is here on the screen, and you'll see that there is mountains and mountains and mountains of information about pretty much any piece of history or technology or science or just general geography information that you could want on Wikipedia. And it's worth pointing out that Wikipedia works on subscriptions, so you will be invited very often to make a small subscription to Wikipedia so that they can continue their work. And the other thing that you need to know about Wikipedia is that you can enter new information on there, and it's also will allow you to edit existing information if you find some errors, and there is a format that you have to follow in order to do that. So Wikipedia is a whole mountain of information which you can always access online, and if you can't find it on Wikipedia, then you can resort to other searches. And finally, I just want to point out the website for Udemy, and Udemy has a whole load of courses on all sorts of different topics, and there's then another search engine for that. So if you want some training on Facebook, then you can type Facebook into the box and Udemy will then go away and will do a search, and it will find that there are loads of different courses that you can access. The price, when I'm doing this recording, it's during a bank holiday, so it's all pretty cheap, but the typical price is in the between £20 to £100 or $20 to $100 range. So that is Udemy, and you can find whatever it is you need to implement on your training requirements. So to summarize on module 10, which is E for Education, we had a look at YouTube and how to manage that, at what the controls were on YouTube. We also had a look at how you can manage the full screen, part screen, sound and size of your YouTube screen. We also had a look at Wikipedia, which is a voluntary subscriptions website, and finally there was Udemy, which has got a whole load of different training courses on it. So that's the end of module 10. Look forward to seeing you in module 11.